SpeedFlow Basics. SpeedFlow Basics is a series of videos that will teach you how to use SpeedFlow. In this video, we will talk about workflow. Destructive, semi-destructive, and non-destructive. So, most of the time people will see me using non-destructive and fully non-destructive workflows. I really enjoy to use modifiers and non-destructive because it's like a game. It's pretty interesting to find different ways to make assets and playing with modifiers like we play with Legos and make the asset simple, complicated, etc, etc. So if you find the way to make an asset complicated and after you think about another ways you will want to try it and you will enjoy the finding of the new version, etc, etc. After you will have some pros and cons with each version and you will think about which one you should use. And so like I said, as you can see, this is like a game and I really like it. After, the non-destructive workflow is really nice to make some fully complete assets, like we saw on SpeedFlow Basics and on my other tutorials, etc. But it's also pretty interesting to make a first version of an object. You will make your version, you will show it to your boss or your client, and they will want to add some modification. And since everything will be fully editable, you will be able to do this. So that will be fast, etc, etc. And once it's validated, you will apply the modifiers and you will finalize your object. So sometimes that will just be apply some booleans, some big bevel, solidify, remove all the endguns, unwrap your object, painting in Blender or Substance Painter, and after send it to your client or to your team, etc, etc. So, like you said, this non-destructive workflow is pretty interesting. You can also make a different version of your asset. You will make a high-def version of the asset with a lot of subdivisions, and you can make also a mid-def and a low-def. You can do whatever you want. So this is pretty nice. But this is not the only workflow. And depending of what you will do, you want to do, you need to do, you will have to choose the proper workflow. That can be destructive workflow, that can be semi-destructive workflow, that can be non-destructive workflow, etc. So keep in mind, the non-destructive is not the only way. There is different ways, and depending on what you will do, you will want to use the proper workflow. And sometimes you can also use, like I said, semi-destructive. That means you will have some forms you will not be able to make non-destructive, so those ones you will make them destructive, and after, on top of that, you will add some modifiers, a solidify, a bevel, an array, a subsurf, etc, etc. So, like I said, it's up to you to use the proper workflow. And after, there is also different type of assets. You will have assets with no subsurf, and you will have assets with subsurf. And with this, you will have to apply some modifiers, etc. So, like I said, depending of the result you want of your asset, you will change your workflows, and you will combine different workflows. And that's it. And I will show you different version of, different example in this video with SpeedFlow, because SpeedFlow is made for every type of workflows, and it's not only for non-destructive. It's just I really enjoy to show you non-destructive because SpeedFlow is for modifiers, and this is pretty nice to play with modifiers. Like I said, it's a game, it's like Legos, and this is nice. So let's take the first SpeedFlow Basic as an example. This object, I will just select everything, is just some profiles, okay? Everything is editable, so this is a fully editable object. And if you check, the result is perfect. You can make a render with it. Or, once you are okay with your asset, you don't want to edit it anymore, you will select a different part of your object, and you will apply all the modifiers you don't want anymore. If you want, let's see, unwrap this one, you will apply everything except the last bevel. Maybe on the last bevel you will decrease the number of segments to have, let's see, only 2. After you will add some loops, and you will unwrap it, etc, etc. So there is different possibilities, like I said. You can also make different versions of this one with less subdivisions to make high def, mid def, low def, etc, etc. So it's really up to you. So on this video, on this part, I will show you how to make it with SpeedFlow destructive and how to make it semi-destructive. And you will see this is also correct with SpeedFlow. This is also some workflows that will work too. Every workflow will work, that will depend on what you want to do. So let's start. What I will do is to move the cursor, so you can go here. I will first activate this for you, and on the trolley cursor you can move it on X. I will go inside view, I will also move it in Z, like that. Like that. So you can create primitives, this primitive, by creating a simple cylinder. You will just play with the value of your cylinder. Up, come here. I will just decrease this, like that. And after you will move this, and you will edit like that, etc, etc. Boom. And that's it, you created this. Or if you want, you can come here, you can add simple vertice and use SpeedFlow to do this. Bam. Add a screw, I will press S6, like that. Add a solidify, like that. And boom, you will have the same result. Okay? The difference will be you will have this, but you can do this on the cylinder too. And after you can, in fact, apply everything. Shift and click, boom, and everything is applied. Okay? So, I will add, and first hide the empty. I will add those parts, and in fact, yes, I'm okay with this. I will make a rotation in Z, select everything, RZ, up, like that, to have exactly the same. Let's go inside view, and maybe make a scale S-Shift-Z. Yes, it will be better like that. So, side view, add some loops, Control R to do exactly the same, Control R, or I could even make just the middle part and add a mirror on top, etc, etc. There is not only one way to make things, and you can make it destructive and non-destructive. This is just up to you. Right now on this one we are in a full destructive way. So I will press I will press Control, and I will have this result. This is what I want. I will select this, up, same for this, like that. I will make an inset, let's see, like that, and I will remove this face. Okay. I will keep this one like that. So I will make this. So there is different possibilities on this one. I can do the same as previously. That means I can create a simple vertice. I can move it like that. I can press E. I can press E, E, and G, and after E like that. And add a screw. Add the number of segments I want. And after apply it. I will say this seems to be even okay. I will apply it, but after if I want, I can S-Shift-Z, edit it like that on the fly. Select this one, S-Shift-Z, like that. S-Shift-Z, if necessary. I will add on this one Control-B, or I will undo. I will be able to use SpeedFlow 2 and to apply it, and that's it. I have this, okay? So this is another possibility, and I can obviously edit all of this if necessary. Come here, I will activate it. I will do this, up, S-Shift-Z, like that, and up, select this one, S. So this is another way, this is another proper way, this is working too. So why not? I can move the cursor, I will move it vertically, let's see, like that, okay? Or I can even make something like that, Shift S, cursor to selected, and I can do the same on this one, use SpeedFlow to make your object pretty fast, up, with modifiers, and apply if you are okay directly. So come here, press E to extrude, like that. Okay, maybe I should make a rotation on all of this, up, I will just choose the 3D cursor, RZ90, like that. Yep. Yes, bon, Control A, apply rotation. Okay, so let's come back. In this case, as you can see, I need to edit it a little. This other part is correct. Yep. Let's make an extrusion here, an extrusion here, an extrusion here, one here. I will activate the snap increment and I will press E like that. So, boom. This is this. You can add a screw. Once you are okay, you can apply it. This is as simple as that. Activate this, go in edit mode, press Ctrl R, hop, Ctrl R, like that, hop, hop, hop. I can press P to separate this one, boom, and I will have two objects now, okay? So let's see this one here. What I will do is to select this, 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 and this, press E, S, Shift Z, and I will have this result, okay? So this is correct, come back, select, do the same, E, S, Shift Z, and that's it, boom! I will add this part now, I will come here, Ctrl R, like that, I want 3, I will come here, I will press, let's see, I need to choose the median point here, I will do this, like that, select this one, do this, and maybe move this one a little, up, and move this one a little, up. So, I have my object, right now, I have this part, this part, this part, on this one I can maybe, let's see, add a big bevel on those two. I will add a bevel like that, and I will apply it. Okay. I will keep it just like that. Bam, bam. Maybe on this one I can select all of this, press I to make an inset. Let's remove this one, and I can call the grid fill. Grid fill, boom. Play with the number of cuts. Let's decrease it again. No, one more. Move like that. And that's it. You made this. This is correct. This is also a possibility. Okay. So, right now we have a fully destructive mesh. I will duplicate this, and you will see the difference between fully destructive and fully non-destructive. I will take this one, or maybe first I will take those ones. I will add a bevel, up, small one, and I will apply it, up, like that. So, now everything is applied on this one. I will call, I will select this, up, up. I may be too fast because it can be long to make everything destructive. I will add a bevel, I will, let's see, add some subdivisions, like that, and after I will add a bevel, a small one, up, and I will apply it. Boom. And as you can see, or maybe it's too big, I will undo it. Up. This one is correct. I will add a big one here and a big one here. So add a bevel. I like to use SpeedFlow. I will press G because it's easier for me to edit my my bevel since I'm using a pen. And with the wheel mouse this is correct, but with the mouse this is easy, but with a pen to add some segments, etc. this is complicated. So I will do this, I will apply it, I will add a small bevel, I can press G and apply it too. And that's it, I created this one is okay, this one is okay. Now what you can do is to finalize your mesh. That means I will remove all the edges and I will add, let's see, some subdivisions to have something uniform, like that, like that. This is the part I will do after applying everything on the fully editable mesh if I want to finish my object. Let's add a loop here, yeah, not you, Ctrl R, hop. Ctrl R, add some segments. Up. You're not obligated to do this, but I personally like to have something uniform, so it's really up to you. Bam, bam. Comment this one. Up. Select everything. And remove the bevel weight. Add some loops. Should be correct on this one. Up. Like that. Add one hair. Add one hair. And this is correct. Let's continue. Boom. This one. Why not add a little loop here? Like that. Here. Hop, I'm too fast. Control R. Should be enough. Maybe 1, 2, Control R. Well, that will work like that. One here, some here. Same here. Okay, so fully destructive, but it's finished. And as you can see, I'm using SpeedFlow to make it. I just apply everything, and after I finalize my object. So it's really up to you to do this like that. So let's see now the semi-destructive way to make this. I can comment this first. Let's comment this one. So on this one could have been semi-destructive, but I will keep it like that. What I will do is to add a small bevel like that, and after I will just add, let's see, some loops like that. This is a semi-destructive way. Let's comment this one first. Let's first add a bevel like that. And on this one you can do whatever. You can use the bevel like that, or if you want you can decrease to 2, the profile to 1 if you prefer. This is really what you want. I like to use profile 0.5 and 4 segments. Up. I will have something really nice. I like this. But after I can do this, I can also do this like that, and add a bevel on this one like that. Let's see how we do this. Up. And this will be a semi-destructive workflow. Up. Come here and do the same. Control R. Add a bevel. I will not apply the bevel on this one. Up. My bad. Wrong. Yes, on this one, as you can see, I was on the bevel edge, so if I edit the number of counts, that will not work. So I will just use the bevel in the group, and I will have this. Okay. On some other, like this one, I can press Ctrl R, this one, Ctrl R. Same, I will use the V group on this one. Up. Like that. I can do the same here. Ctrl R, up, V group. Yes, it works. I could have duplicated from this one, but too late. Up, up, bevel, do this, and it will work. Okay, so I should take this one, up, move it here. So like that, we will have a different version of our object. Up, press G. Fully destructive, that means if I come, this is my result. Semi-destructive, that means if I come, I have some bevels, etc. Oh, I forgot this one, my bad. So on this one, in fully destructive, I can, let's see, add a bevel here, like that. I will keep it like that. Select this to do the same as previously, add a bevel like that. I will press G to have something that will work. I can increase the number of segments, and shift space to add a small bevel. And normally, I should have something that will work. I will press G, bam! Like that. So same as previously, I can press Ctrl R, Ctrl R like that. In bevel, in vertex, I can add this, if necessary, like that. Ctrl R, Ctrl R, Ctrl R. Yes, you have to be careful with this, because this one uses a vertex group, and this one too. So you can come here if you want. Normally it's in item, and no, where they added it? before it was there, we were able to remove it. So I will click to remove on this one and to remove on this one. Or you can call companion and click on Control here. So let's continue. I can press Control R here. I will have to do the same, in fact, on this one, Control R. So the non-destructive way with the group have some modification. You need to be careful about some parts like that. Control R. I could even add my this one again. Select this and just add one, but in this case I will do this. Oula, my bad. Control R plus because I'm using a pen. Okay, Control R plus. Okay, this is correct. Now, if we check about the wireframe, we will have something correct. So, the fully destructive and semi-destructive, as you can see, the wire will be the same. The result will be the same, but you will have some bevels on this one, and you will not have bevel on this one. I forgot to add some loops here. Like that. You will be able to, the same here, you will be able also to unwrap both, and if you want, on this one after you can apply everything. But since it's semi-destructive, you will be able to make some addition, and on this one that will be a little bit more complicated. For example, if you want to edit this bevel, that will be complicated, but on this one, that will be pretty easy, because this is the first one. So you can edit this one. This is semi-editable, but you still can edit it if necessary. So I personally like to keep some possibilities and not to apply everything, because most for the bevels that can take a lot of time to fix all of this. Or you need some add-ons that will help you to remove the bevel and edit it after. So it's up to you. And like I said, if I take all of this and I add a subdivision surface, up, I just have to wait a little. I will press 2, up, like that. If I check, I forgot to make something on this one. Let's remove this one. Yes, I forgot to add a bevel. Up, like that. So now let's add it, and that will work. So, 3 results, exactly the same, 3 objects, 3 different workflows, exactly the same result in the render, even if I don't have exactly the same size of bevels, but you understand what I want to tell you. And perfect result on each. One will be fully editable, that means you will need to use procedural shaders. And those two, you will be able to unwrap them or to use also procedural shaders. So you are not limited to one workflow. You can do whatever you want. And it's up to you to use the proper workflow depending on what you will need to do. So this example is pretty simple, but you can see the difference between the different workflows, and you can see the pros and cons, etc. This one, the non-destructive, will not be able to unwrap it like that. You need to apply everything. The other ones, you can unwrap them, you can do whatever you want. The full non-destructive, you will not be able to edit different bevel, but on the semi-destructive, you will be able. So, like I said, use the workflow you want, use the workflow that will help you to do whatever you want, and you can even, like on the second workflow, mix different workflows to do whatever you want. So let's see another example. I made this for a commercial, I think it was almost 10 years ago. It was when I started Blender, so maybe less than 10 years, I'm not sure. And at this time I only worked like I worked in Maya, that means no modifiers at all, just a subsurf at the end. No bevel, no screw, no booleans, etc, etc. This object was made from a scan. so I just had to make some retopology. But if I had to redo it now, on some object, on some part of the object, I would have used a totally different workflow. I would have used screws to make some parts, and I will explain you for other parts. But the result wasn't so bad. So as you can see, this is the result, and the object on the commercial was this small. So as you can see, it was really small, and the result wasn't the most important part. Just have something that will work. And even if I zoom at this distance, as you can see, this is not so bad. So every workflow is okay, so not the full non-destructive is the only one. Every workflow is okay, and when you have the result you want, this is correct. You just have to be sure, to be careful to use proper workflow. That means no endguns, no crease. You can just have, for example, a subsurf if you want, but be careful about the wireframe, etc., etc. So on this one, I will show you how I should have done some parts. And for example, for this, if I show the wireframe, this is that I made the bevel by hand here, by hand here. So what I would have done on this one, I will just hide the wireframe. Yep. I will have just add a screw and a bevel in angle like that, and maybe add some loops like that, and that will work. Or I could have made something semi-destructive. I made my screw, I remove those faces, and I add a grid fill, and I add some loops, and on top of that I add a bevel modifier. So this is a possibility. For, let's see, this one, I would have made a plane, add solidify here, add a bevel, I will use the cutter, a bevel, a boolean, my bad, to cut this one, add this part with, let's see, this one, from this one, the companion, for this primitive, because it was okay, or just a plane, blah 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 blah. I made a boolean union, and I keep it like that. In fact, I could even keep it like that if I wanted, because I could use, for example, OpenVDB to have the result I want. So this is another possibility. And in fact, at this time, I should have learned Houdini. And if I want to finalize this object, I will apply the solidify, the booleans. I will have finalize the object with the proper number of segments. For example, I will have made something like that. Hop, hop, hop. Like that. Boom. This one will come here. This one will come here. One like that. That will come here. Why not add this one here, this one here? Just two should be enough to make this. Boom, boom. Add one part here. Same here. Etc. etc. So it's really up to you to make your low poly version correct. Up, etc. etc. Like that. So the non-destructive way first, and after I apply the modifier I want, and I finalize the wire, and after I add just a bevel where I want, in edge, in bevel weight or in vertex group if necessary, and I add on top of that a subsurf, and finally, my object is correct, is finished. So this is another possibility. For this part here, I would have made, I know I struggled a lot to make this, and now if I had to do this, I would have made a screw, like that, with a bend to make a screw, no, just a screw in fact, not a bend. I would after add a boolean to make this, okay, from, let's see, an editable primitive, like that. And I will have add an array circular on this one, and like that I will have my result. The interesting part would have been that I will be able to edit, to add, to change the size, to add more count on the array, etc., etc., to have exactly what I want. And once I'm okay with this, I will have make a retopology, just like that. Add something like that. Up. Make your retopology on your object. Like that, boom, 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 like that, boom, add one here, up. So it's up to you to make it as you want. Hein. It's up, like that, etc. Here, one here maybe, boom, 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 and one here. Okay, so as you can see, that will almost work. And with this, I will have made a circular array, and with the merge on the circular array, I will have my object finished. After, let's add a mirror, boom, 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 and that's it. Add a bevel here, subsurf, and my object is finished. I think I will have been twice faster and with a better result. And it would have been easier for me to make this object. And after, of course, you can apply, let's see, the array, you can apply the mirror, you can apply the bevel, and just keep the smooth and the subsurf to add your object. So, okay, this is a different way. And as you can see, I'm mixing different workflows on this one. Like that, I'm sure to have the result I want. And this is the point of this video. Use the proper workflow to do whatever you want. And try to simplify your life to make it. So for example, for this one, I will have created a plane like that. I will add solidify. I will add, let's see, another plane, but with the bevel, add this round part, and a boolean. Like that, and once I'm okay, what I can do is, let's see, apply the boolean. I will have this face, and I will have remove all of the other parts, and I will have finalize my object, like that, to make something for subdivision surface, to make something that will work, like that, boom, like that, and after add some loops. And once this part is okay, I will add some support edge. I will add a subsurf, not a subsurf, a solidify, a bevel, and a subsurf. So after, of course, if you want, you can apply everything. And it will have been easier to make it like that. So non-destructive first, apply when you need, finalize, and add the last modifiers after. For this part, I will have made a screw. I will have made, let's see, a scale, or use lattice, a little boolean here, or maybe add a profile with this, clack, add a screw, yes, well, that will have been this, in fact, a profile, a screw, lattice, bevel, automatic in angle, like that I will have the same everywhere, and subsurf. And after you apply the screw, the lattice, if you want the bevel, and you keep only the subsurf. But you will have made this easier, and it will have been easy to edit. Okay? For this part, this object, if we check on the wireframe on this one, hop, let's remove the subsurf. As you can see, this was pretty ugly. And I should have used a bevel modifier for these parts. For this, it could have been easier for me. Same here, same on this part, same on this part. On some, I will have add a bevel, and after I will have applied it and finalize like that. But I should have add a loop here. Like I said, it was from scans, so it wasn't perfect. But the result, as you saw, works. So when it works, it's okay. Just have to be sure you don't have endgones, you have something correct. On this one, a plane, why not solidify, boolean, bevel, and you will finalize after, like I said for this part. So for this one, maybe instead of using a bevel like that, by hand, I could have add a bevel modifier, same for the lips, could have worked too, same for this one, even if it's not perfect here, same for this. As you can see, sometimes the objects are not merged, they are merged, but they are separated. You don't have all the time to make one object with something, etc. Because on Cycle you have the bevel shader, so that can help you. So on this one, bevel modifier, same here, and I will have something that will work. After I can apply everything, etc., etc. So same for this, that could have been, I could have used a bevel, as you can see. it will have worked. This one will have been a screw modifier. On this one, a little bevel here, a little bevel here. The important part would have been to keep the bevel at the same size, like that you are sure everything is uniform, and you will have something better. So on this part, same screw, so it would have been easier, better result, and I would have had more subdivisions to not have this kind of result. If I needed more subdivisions, I could have, etc, etc. So this one could have been a bevel, another bevel here. Voilà. I will stop here. If we saw the result is not so bad. Boom. And even if I used a fully destructive workflow, the result is correct. And like I said, it was visible like that. So it wasn't absolutely not visible, but if you want to make something correct, using a proper workflow will help you a lot. And in this case, I will have gained a lot of time, in my opinion, and a lot of effort to make it with my current workflow now. And the previous one was correct, but it was slower. And like we said on the Discord, in fact, there are pros and cons on each workflow, so that's why I like to mix them, and depending on what I will do, I will use one, I will use another, or I will, like I said, mix them, non-destructive, once I'm okay, I apply, retopo, and that's it. I finalize my object and I'm correct. So that's it for this SpeedFlow basics. I hope I was not too fast. In fact, this is a pretty complicated explanation, because most of people don't work like that. I'm pretty sure I can see on YouTube all the tutorials, but it's, in my opinion, a good workflow that helped me a lot, and that should help you a lot. And as you saw it on the first example, SpeedFlow is made for every type of workflow. So this is the perfect tool to work on different objects in Blender, even on this kind of object, not only on hard surface, etc. I use it also to make clothes, to make objects, to add some bevel, subsurf, etc, etc. Some air also in mesh. So that's it. See you later for another SpeedFlow basics. If you like this video, think about subscribing, give a like, and activate the bell so you don't miss the new videos. See you later.